Hello everybody, my name is Beck. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I've been procrastinating for the whole entire week and I finally sat down to film this video. I even put on some makeup. Haven't done that in a while. I will be going through my TBR jar even though I've already started reading in the month of April, so joke's on me. The entire April Fools is myself. So I read one book out of the 5 that I picked out last month from my TBR jar. And I actually had to force myself to do it or else I would have been way off track. I read a lot of books, but I am a mood reader, so I did not follow the list, but hopefully I would actually read something off the jar. Today is actually the last day of 75 booked for me. I only failed 2 days out of the 75, so we're going strong. Without further ado, let's actually start this video. Oh, it's so bad. I should just pick out the books that I already picked out from my previous months and just read those instead of picking out new books, but I just need something, you know, maybe I'll stick to it this month. Who knows? So the very first book that I'm going to read is number 3. Which is from my 26 books in 2026. I will grab my reading journal. I should have done that. I also don't wear my glasses in these videos and I can't really see the camera lens and stuff like that. So if I'm looking anywhere but the camera, that's why. Because right now, the camera, the situation, everything is blurry to me. Okay, I was actually planning to read this book, so I'm glad I actually picked it up. So for number 3 in 26 books in 2026, I got number 3. That would be Rewind It Back by Liz Tomforde. I also have the latest book, which is, where is it? I'm so all over the place, but I swear to you, I have the latest book, but I just don't know where I placed it. But anyway, the latest book by Liz Tomforde, I also have it, so I would like to finish off the series. So Rewind It Back by Liz Tomforde is the 5th book of the Windy City series. I've read the first 4. I really like Rio, so I should actually read that. So number 3, first one. Actually makes no difference because this is like all sticky notes, so they don't really move. So the second one I got is another number book and it's number 24. So let's see what number 24 is. My handwriting is atrocious and my camera does not focus. I will fix the settings again. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Is that a little bit too deep for this video? Number 24 is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I've also been meaning to read this as well, but I know where the book is located. It is somewhere like down there behind the second pile and my neighbors are screaming. So number 24 is Divine Rivals. That is going to be a headache to pull it out from this pile. And it's also a duet, so I might as well pull out both books because I'm pretty sure they are located in the same area. Or I can just borrow it from my local library and read it on the ebook, which is most likely going to be the case. This is such a non-issue, but I prefer reading the ebooks now, which is bad. So yeah, number 2. Number 3. Oh, anyway, that dropped out. Might as well pick that one up instead. Number 3, I've got King of Sloth by Anna Huang. I know the next book in the series of the Kings of Sins by Anna Huang is coming out soon, so I should continue the series. The Kings of Sin series is actually located here, so it's not too bad. I've also got the first book for The Striker, but I don't have the second one. So I do have a couple of books from Anna Huang, and I've also read some of her arcs. And again, it is hit and miss. So I have King of Wrath, King of Pride, King of Greed, King of Sloth, and King of Envy. So King of Sloth is the 4th book of the series. I did finish King of Greed. That took me a while to finish. I was really highly anticipating it because, you know, it was all over my FYP. I want to support Anna Huang, but sometimes her books are hit and miss for me and I want to like it, but I've heard really mostly good things about King of Sloth, and King of Greed was okay. I softy enough King of Pride, so I do have it, so it's over here, so I don't have to dig for that. So let's pick 2 more. I hope I actually do read through these books. I do want to read them, but sometimes a girl just wants to read paranormal romance, which is like my vice, but for traditionally published books, it's a bit easier for me to buy contemporary unless they publish more paranormal romance, which I'm like hoping for. So I had The Lines We Cross by Rachel Talk. This was a NetGalley arc back in 2024 or maybe 2023. And I've attempted to read this book so many times and I feel so bad that I'm actually going to go and buy this book since I'm not on 75 booked anymore. I feel like I wasted a space for the arcs, but I have attempted to go through this so many times, but I just don't want to read it. I think the furthest I made it through this book was maybe chapter 3, and I would just soft DNF, and I should have just submitted a DNF, but I'm gonna try again and see if I can actually finish this book for once and for all, because I was early days into NetGalley, so should have known better. I know better now. And I really do apologize for doing all of that, but I have this. I had good intentions when I requested it. It looked like the type of book that I wanted to read, but I could never get into it. But I'm going to force myself to read it, give it an honest go where it leads me. And last but not least, I have One Night Only by Catherine Walsh. I'm not sure if I have read this book before because it sounds familiar. I've read a couple of Catherine Walsh's books, and I do have an arc that's due to be reviewed by June. Anyway, I'll be back. For those of you guys are wondering how many layers are in here, there's a lot. I would also like to read Crying in H Mart. I've got the hardback copy. Okay, this is very embarrassing because it's got dust around here, but my Divine Rivals and Happy Place, and you know what? All these books I want to read, but this is atrocious. My Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows is in here, so I have to move a lot of books to acquire that. So I'm back. I've got the goods, and these are the 2 books that I want to read from Liz Tom Forte. This one's the one I pulled, which is Rewinded Back by, Liz Tom Forte. How many times can I say that? So this is the final installment of the Windy City series. I would like to finish it. It's one of my favorite couples. At least I liked Rio in the reoccurring books, but I've heard mixed reviews from a lot of people saying that he is great as a cameo from the other books, but as a standalone for his own romance is questionable. So I'm hoping for the best because I did enjoy most of the Windy City series. So there's that, and this is the latest one, which is In Her Own League, and this has a, I don't know if you can say it as a spin-off. I guess you can read these as a standalone. These are the characters from the 3rd and the 4th book of the Windy City series, and I just got this recently. I know I'm on 75 books, but I pre-ordered this whenever it was first announced, so it didn't count, but it came during my 75 books. Past Rebecca made a great choice, so there's that. Took it upon myself and I went and dug up these 2. So I have, there's dust flying everywhere. So I have Divine Rivals, which is the first book of the duet by Rebecca Ross. It'll be my first time reading a Rebecca Ross book, and I pulled out the second one just in case I want to continue on, and that's Ruthless Vows. So this is rivals to lovers or enemies to lovers, depending on how you portray this. I've been meaning to read this series for a very long time, so there's that. And then last but not least, I have, oh, there's actually more. I have King of Sloth by Anna Huang, which is like the 4th book of the installments. I have all my Anna Huang books here, so if I want to continue, it's easy for me to pull out. This one is about the PR agent, and it's either an athlete or a celebrity, so like a PR romance. And I also have 2 Can Play by Ali Hazelwood, which is, I've already read this book, but I have the extended epilogue if you buy the physical book, so I need to read the extended epilogue, which is like an honorable mention. And this is also part of the TBR jar that I pulled out, which is One Night Only by Catherine Walsh. It turns out to be a book that I purchased from the Kindle store back in November of 2021. So you know what, I'm glad I'm finally reading my backlog for once, I hope, because there was a couple of books that I did not read in my previous TBR jar months. Last but not least, I will be attempting to read The Valiant Sweet Cross by Rachel Talk. I've been trying to clear down my NetGalley arcs, and that is one of, not the oldest, which is sad to say, but one of the oldest arcs that I have on my list that I need to finish off reading. And I've also am deciding to go back to Kindle Unlimited at least for 1 month, because I have a couple of releases out in April and previous releases that I wanted to read. I was on 75 books, and today is the last day of my 75 books. And I would like to be resubscribing and to catch up on reading a whole bunch of books that I missed out on. I am going to force myself to read at least one of these books that I mentioned in this list before I can allow myself to resubscribe to Kindle Unlimited. So that is the goal. But I won't be resubscribing to Kindle Unlimited until like the 20th of April, which is like one of the releases. I think the third installment of his Tesoro is coming out on the 20th of April. So there is a couple of books that I do want to read on KU because they're exclusive. I don't want to support Amazon, but unfortunately some books and some stories are only exclusive to, you know, some authors only upload this stuff on Kindle Limited. I do want to try out Kobo subscription, but you know, do I really need a subscription? And I used the library quite a bit in my journey, but that's a different topic in itself. If you would like me to summarize my 75 booked experience, let me know and I'll do either a shorts or a video on it. But that's it for today. Hopefully I'll stick to my TBR list for this month. But I'm so happy that I have the freedom to read well, I've always had the freedom to read whatever the hell I want, but in my own terms. It was a great exercise and I would recommend to try it out if you have a hard time on just reading. Sometimes you just need a little push in the back of your brain saying that you need to read. Yeah, that was a job well done. Anyway, oh yeah, I completely forgot. Okay, I borrowed 2 books from the library. I forgot to mention this. So I have I Don't Need Therapy by Tony Lodge. I do watch her podcast from time to time, see her on TikTok, and she's, yeah, from Australia, so there's that. I didn't want to buy the book, it was very expensive, so I borrowed it off my local library when I saw it. And I also have Just Like Mother by Anne Hetzel. I've been reading a lot more thrillers and horror novels lately, but I don't want to purchase them because it's the sort of thing that I would only read once. So that's been my vice. I've been taking some breaks from romance books and, you know, have a little bit more variety, spice it up. This is my palette cleanser. I read horror books as a palette cleanser. I'm hoping to read all of these books in April, but we'll see. It's going to be a busy month for me, so, and I'm not on 75 booked anymore, so I need to be, you know, a bit more strict and a bit more disciplined when it comes to my reading. It shouldn't be a chore. It shouldn't be like, yeah, you shouldn't treat reading as a chore, but sometimes I need that little initial push for me to actually start reading. 75 booked really pushed me out of the comfort zone and forced me to face my TBR, and it, for the most part, it worked. But anyway, I hope you guys had a fantastic March and a fantastic upcoming April. I need to go and film my gaming video now. I procrastinated for so long. I haven't read yet today, and I'm glad I at least filmed one video. Anyway, happy reading. See you guys in my next video. Bye.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I forgot about that. Bye.